All right. Thank you for setting us up there, Manny. We're excited to be with you all today. I'm up here with my brother from Ohio, Khalil El-Amin. He is the co-founder of Nichefire. I'm not going to dig too much into it because, Khalil, I think it's only right that you do somewhat of your own intro. Tell folks a little bit about your background prior to starting Nichefire. Then we're going to dig right into things. That sound good?
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate y'all having me on. Name's Khalil El-Amin, born and raised in lovely Cincinnati, Ohio. Early life, man. Was a bit of a Cincinnati kid, man. Sports was very much so a part of my life uh, through high school and into college, where I played college football for the University of Cincinnati. I studied marketing and entrepreneurship while there, but like most collegiate athletes, um, hyper focused on football and achieving goals of playing in the NFL. Um, Fast forward, undrafted free agent to the Arizona Cardinals, cut during mini camp, couldn't get on a team anywhere else, did arena for about 2 years or so, arena football, before I finally decided to put the cleats up and jump into entrepreneurship. Um, that was right around 2010. So not even at the peak of me even starting Nichefire, right? I haven't even thought about Nichefire at that time, but just being an entrepreneur was like one thing that I knew that I wanted to do. Marketing was something that I loved. Got into freelancing at the time, which snowballed into my first business with my business partner, Michael Howard, which was a marketing agency. And then me and Mr. Michael Howard and Stephen Brown from there developed Nichefire, which is a cultural listening technology, right? So we got really savvy with, marketing and positioning, marketing strategies and things like that with the agency, but AI was really that breakthrough we had. And Nichefire is a AI-powered cultural listening tool that helps businesses identify the common beliefs, behaviors, rituals that drive how we make decisions. And we packaged it up in a very easy to use SaaS platform that I now sell across consumer market insights teams at Fortune 500. But yeah, that's me, man. That's me, born and raised Cincinnati, Ohio, and glad to be here, representative Southern Ohio. I know Manny and the rest of the team are from Cleveland, so I like Cleveland though. So Cleveland's cool with me.
I know Manny's chuckling in the background. I appreciate that intro there, Khalil. But since I met you and Manny at similar events, and just to see a company such as yours focusing. Oh, Manny let us know Columbus.
Okay, Columbus, that's cool. That's cool too, I guess. Cleveland's cooler though, Manny. I'm just saying.
He
We're
loves
gonna have to
all
have a
of Ohio.
convo off script.
But Khalil, that breakdown there, appreciate you diving into that niche fire. You know, from what you showcased to me, the tool. I know the partnerships that you're working on. You may want to elaborate on some of that. It seems like you all are really at the center of some of the conversations that are going on around culture right now in our community. That is always and forever going to be a buzzword. But you want to talk a little bit around how you all position yourself with some of the brands
hmm
that you're working with, because I think that's key for folks to understand um, who you're solving problems for.
Yeah, I think it's no surprise that, with access to uh literally people across the globe now, and through the internet, it's become harder for, to build awareness, to build affinity for a brand, to build the hype up around new products. And over the years, we've seen seemingly organic attraction towards certain things, and this phenomenon of like how these things are happening really kind of boils down to resonating culturally with the buyer, the buyers of these products, and so forth. The problem though is that in order to understand this, you gotta it's one of those things where you have to be a part of the community, you have to be a part of those areas to really understand that those things are happening in order to be able to use them to your advantage, right? And a lot of the times that's hard for larger brands to be a part of every conversation or to be top of mind for every group, right? So that's where cultural fluency and cultural understanding really plays a huge part because albeit you may not understand a specific community or a specific desire, but if you understand why behind those specific desires, specific behaviors, that leads to the strategies or those unlocks of driving um, whatever it is for that product, whether it's sales, awareness, raising money, you name it. So what we found with the Nichefire tool is that the process of getting this information for a lot of teams has been like more manual. It's been very reliant on third party consultants or agencies to come in and kind of tell you what these things are happening. But even with that information, it's on a lag, right? Maybe 6 to 8 months of research studies or quant surveys or ethnographic studies, right? And the idea behind what we provide at Nichefire is that we are online having these conversations. We are going to web pages. We are showing the signals very publicly as consumers. Brands, if they had a tool to see it very seamlessly, could take advantage of that. So let's insert Nichefire. So now we're that tool that they can use to see these behaviors triangulated across social media, search, news and media publications, right? Where that attention's going, what are people talking about, why they're doing the things that they're doing, why the kids are doing 6, 7, right? Like, right, being able to kind of be a fly on the wall on in every room in order to better position your product or your offering.
Yeah, that's dope, Khalil. For those that aren't familiar with my background, I own a media company beyond normal media. I have conversations with a whole host of business owners and different brands. And what Khalil is really talking about here is that's top of mind for them, right? Being able to turn some of these trends that a tool like a niche fire really boils down for them into data, and then they can go out and make those incredible creative decisions. But like you said, Khalil, they need to be able to see some of that in the moment, and then not necessarily wait on like a agency and some of those models that have historically taken some time, right, to get the answers to them. And so I think
Mhm.
that's powerful. Getting answers in the now for some of the brands that you work with, whether it be some of the CPG companies, grocery stores, all the
Mhm.
just a whole host of businesses that Nichefire works with. I know that they're chomping at the bits to have that level of access.
Absolutely. And some of those companies, I forget to mention that, but heavy on the CPG, consumer price goods. So Nestle, Kraft Heinz, those are some of our customers. We have a pretty big retail customer in Walmart. And then we have a couple that we are, kind of bringing down into 2026 as new customers in Lululemon and Cracker Barrel and some other ones that we're really hopeful for. But we're still seed stage startup, right? So we got a lot to prove out in the market in 2026. But again, anything that I could speak to up to about 1 million in revenue is where my specialties is gonna start to be challenged after that, right? Because we're still new, right? And I'm humble enough to know where I could guide another entrepreneur and things of that nature. But the journey so far has been amazing, and the amount of things that we learn when we're talking about culture with these brands and how they desire to use it. And again, for me, it's just are we appreciating the nuances, right? Or are we appropriating? right? That's a big thing for me when I'm in those rooms is making sure that we are appreciating and leveraging the data the right way versus appropriating or weaponizing the data because this is two sides to that uh to that coin for sure.
Yeah, and I know that's a slippery slope.
I know we talk about it a lot.
We can talk about that for so long. I think we're in the season now where this is the season, not necessarily where the brands and the big businesses and just businesses in general, they're trying to tap into the trends, but they probably have already seen some trends and they're putting a product out there for us all now to put under our Christmas trees present. It's that time of year. So can you talk a little bit about what this holiday season like means? I know you all have like the holiday report and things like that
Mhm.
that you all do. Can you talk a little bit around
Yeah.
just this time of year and what you're putting in front of your customers?
Yeah, I think what we wanted to do, because Nichefire is a really good tool to identify like what's happening. We have the ability to go back historic and understand what has happened, but also like what's happening right now. And I think that the idea behind the holiday report was really to plan for 2026 holiday. And what I did was I casted a pretty wide net across a number of topics that we had built inside the Nichefire tool. And what I was hoping was to see from that data, what are the top opportunities for my customers to drive revenue, right? So you'll start to kind of see things that kind of have emerged across pop culture down to just the flavor profiles and desired flavors that a lot of people are talking about from the foods that they want. So the holiday report it's very robust, but it's built to kind of help call out some of those bets for this year holiday to see if we can see those happening in real time as a leading indicator for 2026 holiday season. Some of the things that we've seen were typical of holiday behavior, right? People gearing up for like, because it all starts around Thanksgiving, right? But I think something, and I've seen a lot of people writing about this on Twitter and LinkedIn, but um, growing up, Katie, we talk about it all the time. Like we come from that, hey, we're gonna get up and go to Best Buy day after so we can get this TV for a real ridiculously cheap price. And hopefully no one gets trampled, right? But like Black Friday was when we would go get a lot of those presents off. We didn't know that our parents was taking us to shop for other people and stuff at those times, but like that day after Thanksgiving had traditionally always been that. But over the last, 4 or 5 years, I've started to notice that it moved up a week and moved up a week to now where we're starting to see Black Friday specials basically kick off right after Halloween. So we've seen that in the data across some of the pop culture topics of just sale after sale, kind of starting earlier this year, which I think had a impact on just Black Friday itself this year. Where I mean, it's like, when do you turn off the discounts, guys? This is like, how do you properly do it? So I think that there is a shift in how we buy as consumers, regardless. There's also economic pressures that's keeping people from probably overspending for the holidays this year. But it doesn't help when the date has been moving up on us every week. Am I tripping? Have you noticed that as well? It's like Black Friday used to be like a week before, and then they're like, "Oh, new Black Macy for Black Friday deal." Now it's just like
Mm-hmm.
all of November is a discount week.
I think I, I'm glad you brought that up. It's there were a couple things you said in there that I really wanted to call out. The first is, like you said, coming out with a holiday report now, really you're putting that out for stakeholders at the bigger brand, at the companies that are your audience, right? For next year. Like this process
Mhm.
really takes a year and some change, right, for them to actually like figure out what products they want and start the production process. But then two, we are seeing every all schedules are essentially creeping up. I want to say even like going to Halloween, like Halloween really starts like that process starts in September. Like you'll start
Mhm.
seeing people like actually dust off their Halloween stuff like the beginning of September, and it's like slow your roll. And then once that starts, it's just like holiday madness,
Mhm.
right? To your point. And so we are seeing that the current trends. I'm glad that Nichefire has really pointed that out. I'm curious if we'll sway the other way eventually.
Mhm.
Hoping we do, because I'm tired of constantly having
Yeah. I
Halloween.
think I think too, because the overall sentiment of the United States, we, transitioned to a new president. All types of stuff has happened since then. I think that fast forwarding to more joyous times is something that everyone's just naturally trying to do. So maybe that's why you noticed it this year is like people are putting Christmas trees up literally as soon as the last piece of turkey is eaten off the plate,
Mhm.
right? And kind of moving towards more, because again, times of uncertainty like really kind of shift the masses as a whole. And I think that you want to get to a more familiar time just as a human, right? But that's again, that's kind of where my brain is almost automatically trained to kind of think, because of culture and understanding that there's other things that's causing us to behave and think the way that we are right now, including politics, whether you like it or not,
Mhm.
including race, whether you like it or not, right? These things all matter. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
off
all the
my
adult,
soapbox now.
yeah, all the adult things,
Right.
the things we have to care about as adults, like bills and inflation and gas prices. But to your point, like it's all playing a factor in where we are now. And I can speak me as a parent, right? Me and my wife, like we're making sure in this moment, all the little ones in our family have like really great memories around the holidays, right? And so that
Mhm.
means that somebody is going to probably charge me a nice little premium when I
Mhm.
pick up these toys at
Probably.
retail establishments. So I'm glad you mentioned the holiday report. I'm actually going to put a link in the chat for folks. So I actually was able to connect with Khalil and kind of walk through and kind of talk through the holiday report that he put together. And we thought, why not like bring this to AI? We were able to leverage Lovable and put something together where it's much more interactive. And the insights that a tool like Nichefire brings to the world, it allows really the stakeholders to prompt through it and really get to something that's a little bit more tailored for them, right?
Mhm.
But we're giving them a bits and pieces of what's under the hood of that Nichefire tool overall. And so I'm excited to really share that and really partner with Khalil on that because I know this holiday report, this process in general, like this is something that you care about and you actually are updating this several
Mhm.
times a year to give people trends that they can think about into the future.
Yeah, 100%. One of the main benefits of the niche fire tool is not only that we can spot these signals early, we then predict the trajectory of them into the future, right? Up to 18 months. So what we'll be doing here very soon in January is releasing the update, 2026 outlook slash holiday. It'll all just kind of be a living document that will continue to update, use the forecast from Nichfire's tools, call out the right bets, and just try to be valuable and useful to others out there and just use us as your cultural Sherpas, if you will.
And one thing I will say, I got to shout out Khalil and the team at Nichefire. This tool going through this process with Khalil, it really allowed me to think past like everybody goes to AI and says, give me some social hooks, give me something for my content, like something quick and easy. But I feel like going through this exercise, it kind of strengthened my AI muscle a little bit. And I appreciate Khalil and just the Nichefire solution overall because it allowed me to go past asking AI to give me social hooks, which I think everybody has done a bunch of
Mm.
times at this point.
Your imagination will be your limitation in this new age of AI. You got to think big and go crazy with it because that's what it's built for, right? Put it to work.
Hmm. So I know we're coming up on time. I think Manny, you gave us 30 minutes. Let me know in the chat if not, if I'm correct on that. How can folks kind of continue? Oh, 8 minutes left. We got a little bit of time, but yeah, let folks know a little bit how they can continue the conversation with Niche Fire as we head into the new year, and obviously the new year means new trends that need to be tackled.
I'm all about, eating the elephant a little bit at a time, right? I think this Lovable app that you just posted, um, get your hands on that. That's a great place to start playing around, understanding some things that has, already kind of been put in place. Um, that application has ways for you to book time to meet with someone from my team, or connect them with me directly there. Follow us on LinkedIn. Me and my business partner, Michael, we are, scrappy marketers. So, founder-led content is what you'll find there on our LinkedIn channels, where you can learn more about just how we started the company, how things are going, things of that nature. And then I think lastly is our newsletter, Fire Starters. But you can access that through our LinkedIn as well, where we post almost weekly on different cultural shifts and use cases and stuff like that, um, to just help make cultural insights practical, right? What do you do with it when you know what's happening? Is the idea. So any of those places where you can kind of find more content, find more information about Nichefire, or connect with me directly via LinkedIn.
Appreciate that breakdown there, Khalil. For those listening in, make sure you tap in with Niche Fire, all things that Khalil is doing. I just want to reiterate, I am the founder of Beyond Normal Media. I interview incredible founders like Khalil working on incredible things. I feel like Ohio has adopted me a little bit, and so I spent some time in Ohio, and I'm looking forward to connecting being back in the state when it's not cold. I'm not going there right
Yeah.
now because I know it's really cold. But connecting with Will and Manny in person for sure. Thanks to Manny for giving us this space. It looks like folks are hopping to the room, getting ready to have some incredible conversations. So I want to make sure we respect folks' time. Manny, you want to hop back on stage? Let us know what's next.